Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. David Miller, and I've spent many years working in healthcare, especially with older adults, people just like you, or maybe someone you love. Today, I want to ask you something simple, but important. Could the way you take care of your personal hygiene actually affect how long you live? It might sound surprising, but the answer is yes. You see, as we age, our immune system naturally slows down. Our body becomes a little more vulnerable to things we used to fight off without even thinking. And believe it or not, something as small as forgetting to clean certain parts of our body, those little spots we don't always pay attention to, can lead to infections, skin issues, or even more serious health problems. Now, I know hygiene may seem like a basic habit we've known all our lives. But here's the truth. There are a few places on the body that most people, especially seniors, tend to overlook. Not because we don't care, but simply because they're easy to forget, or we've never been told how important they really are. Let me give you an example. Have you ever thought about the area behind your ears? Or under your fingernails? Most people haven't. But these places can quietly collect bacteria, dirt, and even fungi. And if they're not cleaned properly, those germs can find their way into your body. That's why in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 specific areas of the body that you may not be cleaning regularly but absolutely should. These simple daily habits might seem small, but they can have a powerful effect on your health, your comfort, and yes, even your longevity. Some of what you'll hear might surprise you. And the last one on our list. It's something almost everyone forgets, but it could make the biggest difference of all. So I invite you to stay with me all the way through. You'll not only learn what areas to focus on, you'll also understand why they matter so much, especially as we get older. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss videos like this one, practical, encouraging, and created to help you live healthier, longer, and better. Let's dive in. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you really cleaned under your fingernails? Not just washing your hands, but actually taking a moment to scrub underneath the nails. You'd be surprised how many people, even the most careful, forget about this tiny spot. And yet, what hides under our nails can have a much bigger impact on our health than we realize. Think about it. Our hands touch everything: door handles, shopping carts, garden tools, money, even our own face. And every time we do, tiny bits of bacteria, dirt, and even fungus can get trapped under our nails. If we don't clean that out, it doesn't just stay there, it spreads. For older adults especially, this is something to really pay attention to. As we age, our immune system becomes less robust. That means our bodies can't fight off infections as quickly or as easily. And believe it or not, something as small as the dirt under your fingernails can lead to skin infections, upset stomachs, or even more serious illnesses if those germs make their way into your system. Let me tell you a quick story. Margaret is 78 and absolutely loves gardening. She's active, joyful, and spends hours each week tending to her flowers and vegetables. After each gardening session, she always washed her hands thoroughly, she thought. But she never really paid attention to the dirt under her nails. Over time, she developed a mild skin infection that started on her fingertips. It slowly got worse. When she finally saw a doctor, they discovered the source: bacteria trapped beneath her nails. It could have been avoided with just one small habit. So what's the best way to clean under your nails? You don't need fancy tools. A soft nail brush or even an old toothbrush, a little warm soapy water, and just a few gentle scrubs under each nail, that's it. If you have arthritis or limited movement in your hands, there are electric nail brushes designed just for that, easy to hold, easy to use. And if trimming your nails regularly has become difficult, ask for help. There's no shame in needing a little assistance. In fact, it's a smart, proactive move that can prevent a lot of trouble down the line. It might feel like such a small thing, but these small things add up. A few extra seconds of care each day can help protect you from infections, discomfort, and bigger health issues. So today, I invite you to take a closer look at your hands. What's hiding under your nails? And more importantly, what simple step can you take today to keep yourself healthier tomorrow? Let me ask you something we don't usually think about. When was the last time you truly paid attention to your feet in the shower? I don't mean a quick rinse while the water runs down. I mean actually bending down, using soap, getting in between the toes, drying them properly afterward. If you're like most people, especially as we get older, it's one of those things that quietly slips through the cracks of our daily routine. But here's the truth. Our feet carry the weight of our entire lives, literally. They support us from the moment we wake up to the moment we crawl back into bed. And yet, they're often the part we neglect the most. And unfortunately, that small neglect can lead to some very big problems. Fungal infections, ingrown toenails, painful cracks, even skin ulcers. These aren't just annoying. For people with diabetes or poor blood circulation, they can be incredibly dangerous. Let me tell you about Henry. He's 78, retired, loves fishing. One summer, he noticed a small sore on the side of his foot. He thought it was no big deal, just a scratch from his sandal. He didn't wash it properly, he didn't check it. And he certainly didn't think it would amount to anything. But days turned into weeks. The sore got worse. Eventually, it became infected. By the time he saw a doctor, the infection had spread. Henry ended up in the hospital for over a week. All from something that started as a tiny wound on a foot he hadn't really looked at in weeks. It's a powerful reminder. Our feet may be out of sight, but they should never be out of mind. So what can we do? Every day, wash your feet with soap. Not just let the water run over them. Get in between the toes. That's where moisture and fungus love to hide. And dry them well, especially between the toes. If bending over is difficult, and let's be honest, it is for many of us, try using a long-handled sponge or asking for a bit of help. There's no shame in that. In fact, it's wise. Remember, keeping your feet clean isn't just about hygiene. It's about independence, mobility, and quality of life. Take a moment tonight, look at your feet. They've walked you through every chapter of your life. Maybe it's time to give them the care they've earned. Let me ask you something that might surprise you. When was the last time you washed behind your ears? I mean really washed them, not just a quick rinse in the shower or when shampoo runs down. I'm talking about gently cleaning behind your ears, where sweat, oil, and dirt love to hide. You see, this small area tucked away and easy to forget is one of the most overlooked parts of our daily hygiene. And yet, it can have a much bigger impact on your health than most people realize. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, more delicate, and prone to irritation. That little fold of skin behind your ears. It's a cozy little corner for bacteria to build up, especially if you wear glasses, hearing aids, or even masks. These can trap moisture and create the perfect storm for problems like itchiness, redness, and even infections. Let me tell you about Roger. He's 74 years old, a retired school teacher who wears his glasses every single day. He's always been careful about his hygiene, showers daily, brushes twice a day, but for years, he never once thought to clean behind his ears. One day, he noticed a constant itch. Then came the redness. By the time he looked in the mirror, the skin behind his ears was inflamed and sore. His doctor told him he had developed a mild skin infection, all because of trapped bacteria in that overlooked area. Had he just cleaned behind his ears regularly, all of that discomfort could have been avoided. It sounds so small, doesn't it? But that's the thing, health is often in the details. So here's what you can do. Each time you bathe or wash your face, take a moment to gently clean behind your ears. Use a soft cloth or your fingertips, along with warm water and mild soap. And just as important, pat it dry afterward. Moisture that's left behind can create the same environment bacteria thrive in. If you deal with flaking or irritation in that area, it could even be seborrheic dermatitis, a common skin condition in older adults. It's treatable, but often goes unnoticed because people assume it's just dry skin. If symptoms persist, it's worth mentioning to your doctor. Remember, just because you can't see it, doesn't mean it isn't important. Behind the ears may be out of sight, but it should never be out of mind. Taking care of these small areas helps you stay ahead of small problems before they become big ones. Because aging well isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things, with care and consistency. So next time you're in front of the mirror, give a little extra attention to what's behind the scenes. Your ears and your health will thank you. Have you ever stopped to think how many things your hands touch in just one day? From your phone, to door handles, to shopping carts, to your own face, our hands are constantly in motion, connecting us with the world around us. But with every touch, they also collect tiny invisible passengers, germs. Now, most of the time, our immune system can handle it. But especially as we get older, our defenses aren't quite what they used to be. And that's when something as simple as not washing your hands properly can quietly turn into something much bigger. Let me tell you about Robert. He's 72, eats well, stays active, doesn't have any major health conditions. But for a while, he kept getting sick, mild colds, stomach bugs, even a chest infection that lingered. At first, his doctor couldn't figure it out. Robert seemed healthy on the outside. Then one day, during a routine conversation, the topic of hand hygiene came up. Turns out, Robert rarely washed his hands after grocery shopping, touching elevator buttons, or using public restrooms. Sometimes, he'd just do a quick rinse with water, no soap, no scrubbing. That was it. What he didn't realize was that his hands had become one of the main gateways for germs into his body. And unfortunately, as we age, illnesses like the flu or pneumonia can be much more serious than they are for younger folks. But here's the good news. This is something we can control easily, every single day. Proper hand washing is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to protect yourself. Here's how to do it right. Use warm water and soap, and wash for at least 20 seconds. Make sure to cover your palms, the backs of your hands, between your fingers, and under your nails. Yes, those little spaces matter. An easy way to time it: hum the happy birthday song twice. That's 20 seconds. And don't forget, after you've washed, dry your hands completely. Damp hands can still spread germs. This small daily habit can make a world of difference. It's not just about staying clean, it's about staying independent, active, and resilient. So next time you come back from the store, or finish reading the newspaper, or even after petting your dog, pause for just a moment. And give your hands the care they deserve, because in the journey of aging well, your hands aren't just helpers, they're gatekeepers. Here's a question we don't hear every day. When was the last time you cleaned your belly button? It might sound a little funny at first, but the truth is, the navel, yes, your belly button is one of the most overlooked parts of the body when it comes to hygiene. And yet, it's a small area that can collect a surprising amount of sweat, oil, and dead skin cells over time. Now, for most people, that buildup might not be noticeable at first. But if you leave it unchecked, it can lead to unpleasant odor, irritation, and in some cases, even fungal infections. This is especially true for older adults. As we age, our skin tends to loosen, and if you have a deeper navel or reduced flexibility, it can become harder to clean. That's when waxy buildup starts forming, and suddenly, a spot you never think about becomes a source of discomfort, or worse, a trip to the doctor. Let me tell you what one nurse shared with me. She once cared for a sweet elderly woman who had excellent hygiene in every way. Her clothes were always clean, her hair neatly brushed, but she kept complaining of a strange odor. Turns out, she hadn't cleaned her belly button in months. A gentle cleaning fixed the issue overnight. So here's how you can care for this small but important part of your body. Use a cotton swab dipped in warm, soapy water. Mild soap works best. Gently clean inside the navel, being careful not to press too hard. Then dry it completely with a clean swab or soft towel. Do this 2 to 3 times a week, or simply as part of your regular bath routine. And if you ever notice irritation, redness, or an unusual smell that doesn't go away, don't ignore it. Talk to your doctor. They might recommend a mild antiseptic or a special cream. It's such a small part of our body, isn't it? But sometimes, small things make the biggest difference. Taking a moment to care for your belly button is more than just about hygiene. It's a reminder that every part of us, even the quiet, hidden parts, deserves attention, respect, and care. Because aging well doesn't mean doing more. It means doing the little things with intention. You know, sometimes in life, it's the smallest things that end up having the biggest impact. We've just taken a closer look at a few places on our bodies that don't often get much attention behind the ears: our hands, our belly button. These areas seem minor, even forgettable. But if left unchecked, they can quietly become homes for bacteria, irritation, and infection. And it's not just about staying clean, it's about staying healthy. Because good hygiene isn't just for appearance. It's a foundation of strong immunity, especially as we get older. When we care for these small parts of the body with regular, mindful habits, we're not just washing away dirt, we're actively preventing illness. We're protecting ourselves from the kind of problems that could otherwise build up and affect our energy, comfort, and overall quality of life. Let me ask you, what if the key to healthy aging wasn't in a pill? or a fancy treatment, but in the way we approach the little things. Things like remembering to wash our hands after coming home from the store, or gently cleaning behind the ears, or checking in on those places we often overlook. I've seen it firsthand. People who seem to glow with well-being aren't always doing anything extraordinary, but they are consistent, they are intentional. They don't underestimate the power of small, daily choices. Because in the end, that's what health is made of, not grand gestures, but simple acts repeated with care. So today, I want to leave you with one thought: don't underestimate the power of small daily habits. They might feel small, even silly, but done with love, done with awareness, they build a stronger, cleaner, more resilient version of you, one habit at a time. This is how we age, not just with grace, but with strength. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe. Simple tips like these can make a big difference in your health. Join us one small habit at a time. Tap the bell so you never miss a moment of inspiration.